Perfect. So this is a very simple way on how to copy and paste into MetaTrader 4. So just an example, this is my signal. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Right now I'm recording this, but so I just put out the signal, sell AUD JPY. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to MetaTrader 4. You're gonna look for AUD JPY. If AUD JPY is not right here, then the first thing you're gonna do, you can go to the top right and press the plus. You're gonna scroll down and then you're gonna search AUD JPY. You're gonna click on the plus. You can press cancel. You can go back. Right? It's very simple. You're gonna copy and paste. You're gonna press trade. The market's open right now. If the market's not open, which is Saturday, Sunday, then it won't do this. But the market's open right now, so it's going to do this right now. So you can press trade. Now what you're gonna do, you need to look at the lot sizes. First thing you need to do, you need to put the stop loss in. I may just put sell AUD JPY, right? What do I always put as a stop loss? You need to remember that I always put a 50 pip stop loss. That way you can calculate that with the Stinu app, right? But right now, what do you need to focus on? You got the parameters right now in your face. So what are you going to do? You're going to put stop loss 77. So you're going to go back and put the stop loss, and you put 77 for the stop loss. You're going to do TP1 first. You know, if you're just a beginner, that's when you just take TP1 and TP2. If you're advanced and you know what you're doing and you want to swing, then that's when you'll take swing TPs. But right now, in the beginning stages, you should just take TP1 and TP2 and call it a day. So you're going to go back, you look at TP1, 76.48, just copying and pasting, 76.48. The hardest part about this, we're going to have to figure out the lot size. What should you be putting in your account? Well, we're going to go back to see how much do we have in our account. We have $5,000. Let's be realistic. Let's say we have $300, or let's say we have $200, because that's what you're going to start with. So you have to be very realistic. You can go to the app, right? What do I have in the bottom of the signal? Use Stinu app to calculate lot size. So there's an app called Stinu that's going to help you calculate the lot size on how much you should be risking. 2 to 3.5% on every trade. That's specifically for this trade. Normally it's 3 to 5%. But for this trade, due to the fact of being a Sunday and the market's not volatile on Sundays and a lot of bad things happen on Sundays, we're going to lower the risk. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to the Stinu app. The Stinu app should already be downloaded right here. Stinu app, right? So we're going to go back. What was our account balance that we have? It says 5,000, but let's use a realistic account balance. Let's do $250. We're going to go back. We're going to look to see where our risk percentage was at the bottom, 2 to 3.5%. 3.5%, the more riskier ends, we're going to go with that one. 3.5 risk. What did I say my stop loss typically is? If you can't calculate stop loss, then always know my stop loss is 50. If you can calculate stop losses, then it may be less. So in this case, I looked at the signal was called at 76.645. From 76.645, you minus 77 from 76.45. What do you get? You're going to get a 45.5 pip stop loss. So in this case, we'll put 45. Normally, my stop losses are 50, but it may be less than 50. So just put 50 if you don't know, 45 if you can calculate it. So you press the check, and then you select the currency pair. What pair did we just do? We did AUD JPY. So we're going to go back. We're going to click AUD JPY. This is going to calculate the amount of lot size. So now what this is saying is we have a stop loss at 45 pips, and we need a 0.02 lot. We're risking $8.75. So just doing all the calculations for you. You don't have to think too much. This is handling everything for you. What are we going to do? Now, right, we were in the middle of doing this trade. So let me go ahead and put the parameters I was going to. I accidentally lost it just because I was showing something. Remember where we're at? We're at 77, right? We're at TP1 76.48. I'm always doing TP1 and TP2, right? So this is when you just have to use a little bit of math. If my 0.02 is my lot size for the whole trade, and I'm putting 2 entries in, right? I need to divide that by the amount of TPs I'm deciding to take. So I'm taking TP2, so I'm going to do 2 entries. So that means instead of a 0.02, I need a 0.01 because I'm about to do 2 entries. So I'm going to press sell. Okay, fine. Then I'm going to press trade again because I'm adding another entry because I have to do TP2, right? I'm doing 2 entries. Remember I said you only want to do 1 or 2 if you're just a beginner. If you're experienced, that's when you can do more entries. So right here, TP2 is what? 76.32. Stop loss is what? 77. Same thing. We're using a 0.01 lot size. Our overall lot size for the whole trade was what? A 0.02. That means 20 cents every pip. We're using a 0.01 because we're dividing that by 2 because we have 2 entries. We click sell again. And now we're finished. We're done. We can let the trade go by itself. We don't want to close out on red. Either it's going to hit our stop loss or it's going to hit our TP. When you're a beginner, that's what you should do. As you get more experience in the market, that's when you can close out on certain things because you know what's going on and your technical analysis is right. If you were to add another entry, right, and I say, hey, go ahead and pop another entry, then what would you do? You press sell again.
Modify?
You press trade. You press trade, right? You go put in our stop loss again, and then you'll go put our TP1 again. Because sometimes we may be down, and I may say pop another entry or add another entry. That means you use the same lot size you already were using, right? 0.01, right?
Yeah.
For the TP at the TP1, 76.48. This is only, I will give you directions to add another one. And then you press sell. Now you're good to go. Is there any other questions?
And then we're selling it because it's at its high point, like the market is up.
We believe that the market's going to go down. From looking at the trade, we believe the market's going to go down, so we're going to click sell. Right now, we believe this is going to sell, so we're going to click sell. If we thought it was going to buy, then we'll press buy. Right now, we think it's going to sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And so using the account, am I buying like this currency or I'm just buying my way in the trade, if that makes sense? Like, that question I texted you earlier?
You're not buying the currency necessarily. You're just you're basically saying the market's going to go down. It's no different than if it was an Apple stock and you said Apple stock is going to decrease or it's going to drop. Shares are going to stop. All you're doing is betting that the market's going to do what you think it's going to do. It's just an educated risk.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Go.
Hey, you stopped screen recording? Did you stop recording?
Hold on.